Hello, hello, hello. Hey, everyone. Welcome to day 4 of Manifest That Shit, the 7-day affirmation challenge to attract the life you desire without settling. I'm going to wait for y'all to come on in. If you're in, you see me, hear me, just give me an okay. Let me know that you're there. Hey, replay viewers. Thank you all for watching. We had a few come in on the last one. And as I said, I am monitoring the chat. So whenever you see this, whenever it comes across your screen, it is for you. And you can start day 1, regardless of what day we're on. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, sis, how are you? All right, so I'm gonna give people a little bit more time to get in here. While we're waiting, make sure that you have your workbooks, make sure that you have your pen and paper, your water, your tea, whatever. I got my alkaline water here. Get centered, be in a space of receiving. Like I said, get your incense. I didn't light mine yet. Today has been a very interesting, this has been an interesting week, but today in particular, my boo is sick, so I was taking care of him, and we've had a lot going on. You have a migraine, but you're not complaining. Yeah. Um, there's a lot going on right now, especially with the change of season. So I don't know where you all are in the world. About to light my incense now, but I'm in Maryland in the DMV, and the temperature has severely dropped. And I'm actually loving it. It's like fall weather right now. I'm loving it. I am not complaining. Yes, 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 yes. Not complaining, but that is get sick weather. It is August right now, and it's 60 degrees at night. 70 during the day, 60, 50, 60 degrees. So I've been able to turn my air off. I'm really happy about that. I love fall. I love spring, but it's crazy that it's this cool in August. So I think a lot more people are definitely going to get sick for sure. And then, COVID is back out there making its presence known. So, you know, things like this, I mean, there's so many different ways that we can spend our time, right? And I don't take for granted that you're taking time out of your schedule to spend with me. And so I hope you're not taking for granted that I'm taking this time to spend with you, because our time is precious. And there's just so much going on in the world. And I know that you could be doing anything else right now. You could be on Netflix, which is nothing wrong with Netflix, because I love a good Netflix series, right? But you could be in front of TikTok right now, just, you know, trying to escape. There's a number of things that you could be doing, but you chose to be here with me. You chose to do something to better yourself. And I don't take that lightly. I don't take that for granted. I will show up for the people who show up for themselves. So clap for yourself just for being here and taking this time out whenever you see this, regardless of when you see this, taking the time out to do something to improve yourself, because there's so many different things that you could be doing. There's so many things that you could be doing with your time, and you're here. So, all right. So just so you all know, just so we're clear, I changed my mind. I changed my mind. I said that this was going to be exclusively on YouTube, right? And that's what I meant. But I decided to go ahead and at least right now the live put it up on Facebook, because that's really where like my primary tribe is. And I recognize, going back through the live stream from Monday, that a lot of people were coming from Facebook. I did actually have some folks come from YouTube too. But just to let you know, the algorithm right now is really crazy. Things could obviously change, right? Because they do change. Um, but I've been on Facebook, I'm trying to remember how many years. So I coming in November, I will be celebrating 19 years in business, right? I started off at that time on MySpace. That's when MySpace was hot. So that just tells you how long ago this was, right? And then there was, remember, there was like that mass migration, right, where everybody went from MySpace then over to Facebook. Like when, because Facebook initially was for college students, but then when they let like everybody in, there was like this mass migration. So I've been on Facebook probably for like 16, 17 years, something like that. And I've never had so little views on my content. uh, like the algorithm, the way that, my stuff is just being suppressed is crazy. It is crazy. I'm still posting, but I'm also really looking for a new home. Like, even though I'm on like, all social media, like Facebook was like my hub. You know what I mean? Like that's where my people are. But the way that things are going right now, I'm definitely looking for a new home. Okay. I am open. I am open. I am outside. I'm looking for a new home. So I'm really focusing now on YouTube and TikTok. So you will see. So if you follow me, you definitely want to follow me on YouTube because there's a lot of content coming on YouTube. I'm doing weekly Reiki videos for sure. I'm trying that out. It seems like y'all really like that. So I will probably keep doing that. So there's a lot of content coming. So definitely subscribe to YouTube. Watch out for me there. I definitely plan to do more lives on YouTube. So right now, if you're watching on Facebook, come on over, or wherever you're watching, come on over, because this is where the hub is going to be. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Um, the first thing that I want to know, I know that I got some people day one, I got some people day two, day three. I got some people who started with me on Monday and day four. It doesn't really matter where you are. Don't feel like if you're just starting, oh, well, I can't watch this now because it's day four and I'm out of order, out of sequence. It really isn't that. As long as you watch day one first, do watch day one first. Let me say that. But if you're coming in and you're on day two and you feel like you got to wait to day four to see this, you do not. The reason that I did it this way is because I want to make sure that I'm having these constant check-ins. I recognize that I'm competing against life. Okay? I'm competing against life. So if you're in this challenge, you're getting daily emails from me, right? Daily check-ins, daily reminders. That is in addition to the workbook. That's in addition to your workbook. So if you haven't downloaded this yet, download your workbook. The link is in the bio. Make sure you get this. I'm competing against life. So even though you might say, yes, I'm participating in the challenge, and you download this workbook, you might not be doing nothing. Let's just call a spade a spade. You might not be doing nothing. You might be sitting there looking at it like, I mean, this looks good. That's pretty. I like what she did here. But you might not be doing anything. Okay. You might not be taking any action. And I get it. Because life be life. And I told you all my story Monday, right? And the saga is still going. The saga is still going. It ain't over. Okay. So I'm saying all of that to say that I understand that I'm competing against all the elements: family, friends, sickness, heartbreak, grieving, bills, right? All of these things. I get it. I get it. And I still want you to commit and do this. I still want you to commit and do this. I still want you to show up for yourself. If you skip a day, if something happens, life happens. But I need you to pick yourself up and get back to it. Y'all hear me? I need you to pick yourself up and get back to it. Literally, all I'm asking for is 10 to 15 minutes a day. Now, if you work with me one-on-one, you're going to be doing more work. Okay? But I'm asking for 10 to 15 minutes a day. That's it. So the reason that we're having these live streams too is because I got to check in on you. I have to see how you're doing. I have to see what I'm contending against. I don't want to leave you, and say, hey, download the workbook and leave you to your own devices. Because I know how that is, and that does not work. It doesn't work. Okay. So, whatever day you started on, whenever you come in, let me know what day you're on right now. Let me know what day you're on, and let me know how it's going for you. Have there been any ahas? Have there been any breakthroughs? Have there been any challenges? Is there anything that you recognize now, maybe after reading the workbook or after watching the video that you weren't aware of before, right? Anything that you're grateful for, that you're recognizing through this challenge, right? That you're really grateful for. So, like, whatever is come up for you that you feel comfortable sharing, please go ahead and put that in the comments and let me know how it's going for you, because that's important to me, because that's why I'm doing this. I'm not doing this for myself. I don't need this. I'm doing this for you. So I want to know how it's going. I want to know how it's helping you. Um, I just want to know. So definitely in the comments. And if there's something personal that you want to share, you can share whatever you feel like sharing here. If there's anything personal that you want to share, go ahead and email me and let me know what's going on. Because I think it's important that we all share and we all talk, because this is a community. The whole goal of this too is that it is a community, right? Because it is really difficult trying to manifest in a bubble with people who might not be in the same space as you. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that later. But I'll give you a few minutes to share with me what's going on, what's the ahas, what's the breakthroughs, what's any challenges, what day are you on right now, what's your experience? So just to let you know, I am doing the challenge right along with you. Okay. So when I say I understand, I really do understand. I got to take that same 10 to 15 minutes a day that I'm asking you to take. Okay. I have to take that same time. And this is my second time through too. So we did this challenge once before. This is the second time. And this, we can keep repeating it. And I talk about that in the workbook, that we can keep repeating this. Okay. So I understand. I'm doing the same thing. And like I told you all Monday about what happened with my car. I'm still going through that. That was not planned. Okay. That was not a planned thing, but that is a part of my life now that I have to now contend with everything else. Y'all, I'm in the midst of planning the Girl Live Your Effing Life brunch, the second one, right? Is a lot of work. I don't know why people think I'm gonna do that monthly. It's not gonna happen. This is the second one this year. Next year it's gonna be once a year after that. We're not, it's a lot of work. I have an event planner, I have help, and it's still a lot of work. So I was already planning that, right? It was already something else big that I've been working on that I can't speak about right now. Actually, a couple things. And now this car situation got thrown in, right? I have to contend with that. I still have to make time. The girls are off to school next week. So we had to go to an open house, right? So there's so much going on. And I'm taking the same amount of time out that I'm asking you to take. All right. Kendra says, I'm late, but I'm here. Girl, you are here. That's what matters. You're here. Peaceful Asha says, I originally felt guilty for watching live on Monday and watched the video several times, but didn't do the work. I had to get out of my head. Enough is enough. Today is my day one, and I feel uplifted. Yes, yes, yes. And that's real. And that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. That is why I am saying what I am saying, because I know what you're thinking. I have been doing this work for 19 years. I know what y'all are thinking. I know what's going on. I know the hangups. I know the pitfalls. I know the real reasons you're not succeeding and the real reasons you're not manifesting. And, a lot of times people think it's because it's what you don't know or you don't have the right techniques. And it's some of that too. But for most of us, is this right here. It's us getting in our own way. It's all the stinking thinking, all the things that are going on in your head that are just not true, that don't even matter, but that you give credit to. So I get it. So thank you all for sharing that, because I know other people watching this are probably going through the same things. I feel inspired to change for real, filled with gratitude and love. Alhamdulillah. That's beautiful. Anybody else want to share? Feel free to share as you continue to keep going. Kendra, what day are you on? Said I have been doing the work every night, but it's still a struggle. Okay, so talk to me. Tell me, what is the struggle? What is the struggle? And tell me what day you're on. All right. So there's a few things that I wanted to talk about today, right? And one of them is, partly what I've just said is that wherever you are in this journey, keep going. Just keep going. The most important thing is that you show up for yourself and you make a commitment to yourself. Because here's a reality: you say you want these things and you say you're going to do this stuff, and then you stop. So how are you going to believe that you can manifest something when you give up on yourself and don't do what you say you're going to do? I want you to think about that. How are you really going to believe that you're going to manifest something when you say you're going to do something and then you don't do it? Do you trust people who tell you they're going to do stuff and then they don't do it? Do you trust people who give you their word, who make a promise to you and then they don't do it? Comment in there, tell me, do you trust them? Kendra's on day 4. Okay. Lovely Bones is on day 3. Very grateful for the challenge. I'm also on a water fast. Okay, this has really helped me through it and become self-aware. I have been motivated just trying to stay consistent. Yes. Okay, so Kendra said, yes, so emotional roller coaster. And yeah, no, I don't. No, you don't. You don't trust people who say they're going to do something and then they don't do it. You don't trust people who don't keep their promises. But think about it. How often do you make promises to yourself that you say that this is important, that you say this is what I'm going to do, and then you don't do it? You give up somewhere in the process. How you going to trust yourself? How you going to love yourself? That's not a rhetorical answer. So something else that I want to talk about that's really important. So on Monday, we talked about our thinking, right? We talked about how our subconscious is running the show. We talked about how our brains work. Make sure you go back and watch that if you haven't seen it. We talked about our emotions and how to channel those emotions to use as fuel for manifestation, right? Today, I want to talk about the importance of being clear. I want to talk about the importance of being clear. Clarity. Clarity. Kendra says that's usually me giving up halfway through my goals. Yeah. Yeah. And so then the next time you try something, you don't believe that you're really going to do it because you haven't. You haven't shown up for yourself. You haven't completed it. So you don't believe it. And that's what happens. And then, okay, and Lovely Bone is agreeing. Yeah. That's exactly what happens. So how you going to trust yourself when you just giving up? You like, this too much. This taking too long. This hard. I thought it was going to be easy. I thought all I had to do was say an affirmation and then boom, like the genie is just here. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Now, sometimes it can be, but most times it's not. And so part of the reasons that it's more challenging to manifest is because of the lack of clarity. Like right now, how many of you are actually clear about what you want to manifest? Whatever it is, whether it's a house, it's a car, it's a relationship, it's, whatever, right? How many of you, money, everybody wants money, abundance, right? How many of you are clear? If you are absolutely clear on what you want to manifest, put a 1 in the chat. That's how it's portrayed, so I've been waiting. You're absolutely clear, put a 1 in the chat. I find a lot of times my clients, people that I'm working with are having difficulty manifesting what they want because they're not really clear. The things that they are going after are things that they think that they should want. They're things that people have told them are important. They are things that maybe other people have, and they're comparing themselves to those other people and say, oh, I want that too. But then when it comes to doing the work to get those things, they don't really want to do it. And then that's because sometimes what you want it's not that you don't want it, but one, you don't really want it enough, or two, it's really just not that important to you. It's really just not that important to you. And the thing is, that's okay. That's okay. So you might be in a space right now. Just give you an example. Life is life in. Like, so I told you all, right? There's a couple of big things that I was already working on, and I'm gonna talk about it after I manifest it. And there's a reason for that. But now, because of the car situation, I gotta prioritize the car. So the other things that I was working on, they're still there, but I kind of got to put it on the back seat. And now I really got to work on the car. That's priority number one. So I actually have to shift. I have to shift. I got to pivot. Sometimes you will have to do that. Or sometimes it's in your best interest to do that. So you might have started out saying, I want money. Just using an example, right? But now you're going through this challenge, and things are happening in life, and you're like, you know what? I really just want peace. It's not really the money that I want, but it's the peace that the money brings. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Or I really just want to be able to rest. And so I want the money because it allows me to rest and not have to work so hard. Y'all get what I'm saying? If you understand what I'm saying, let me know in the chat. Kendra says that's how it's portrayed. So I've been waiting. Then there are things, but no details on what I want. All right. Yep. Amen. So true. Oh my God. Yeah. So we're asking for the wrong things. We are focusing on the wrong things. So the clarity is really important. So one of the reasons that I have you all writing so much, right? And then I told you all, like, my girl, get your effing life journal. This is the companion. You don't have to get it, but I really want you to get it if you don't already have it. Some of you already have it, but I want you to get it because I want you to start writing more. I want you to start getting very clear on what is it that you really want, your heart's desire, like what you truly want in life. Because a lot of us are chasing, we're going after things we don't really care about. We just feel like we have to care about it. Like, I'll give you all an example. So if you've been following me for a while, I was in Vegas with April Franks for 6 months. This was a couple years ago, like right after COVID, a couple years ago. And the reason that I decided to take that opportunity, one, because I was kind of burnt out, right? Like, I had just finished, that was after Real Housewives of Potomac had aired. It was after COVID. I was swamped. That was the busiest time in my business ever. I mean, there were so many opportunities coming from everywhere. I was in this mastermind spending a whole lot of money, and I had to really figure out like what I wanted, you know, because it was like this high and it was all these amazing things happen, but I felt like I was getting lost in that, and I didn't know what I wanted anymore, if y'all know what I mean. And so everybody is like this whole thing, oh, if you're making six figures, you need to make seven figures. Six figures ain't enough, you want to make seven. Now, y'all know I'm in the DMV. A lot of y'all are in the DMV. It's expensive as heck, right? So money is important here. Cost of living is expensive here, right? Everything's expensive. And so I was like, okay, do I want to focus on seven figures? Like, do I want to be a millionaire? And I just didn't know if that was an alignment. You know what I mean? Because still at my core, I am a healer. Y'all, I'm a healer. I love healing. I love working with you all. I love the one-on-one. I love speaking and TV and doing all of that too, but I love the one-on-one because that's where I get to make the biggest impact, right? So I was like, do I really want this? And so April had this, 6 month opportunity. She was like, hey, come to Vegas. You get to work with me in my business. Da 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 da. And when I tell y'all, I manifested that opportunity because I was literally just saying to somebody, I want to see the behind the scenes in business of a millionaire business. I want to see the behind the scenes. Like, what does it really take? What does that really look like? Because everybody's trying to make it seem like it's so easy. But I want to know what's really going on, because I want to know if that's something that I'm really up for, or if I really want to put the time and energy into that. So I was thinking that. And then I see her post on Facebook, and I said, my God, I straight manifested this. She has a multi-million-dollar business. And how cool for a CEO to be like, listen, you can work here in my business behind the scenes, right? At first, I was like, I don't know if I want to do that, because she was like, you got to put your business on hold for 6 months. And I'm like, I've done all this work. I just invested, a lot of money, 5 figures into this mastermind, right? I was just on TV. All of these things have happened. How can I put my business on hold? Right? That the thinking. So I want y'all to hear what I'm saying. I had a thought of what I really wanted, of what was important to me. I saw the opportunity that was in alignment, literally, picture perfect for what I was just asking for. But then my thinking was trying to talk me out of it. Girl, you can't do that. You got all this stuff going on. You can't leave here for 6 months. Why would you do that? You work so hard to get to this point, and you just gonna leave? Y'all hear what I'm saying? Are y'all following me? If y'all following me, then chat, give me a 1. So I had to work through that, and I decided to go for it. And I said, you know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to at least apply. I'm gonna send in the application, right? Because I'm not giving myself any opportunity if I don't send in an application. So I'm going to at least give myself the opportunity. I'm going to submit the application and see what happens. And so that's what I did. I submitted the application, and I was like, I'm going to see what happens. Well, I got accepted. I got accepted. So once I got accepted, I was like, well, dang, this is real. I guess I got to go. And I was actually really excited. I had only been to Vegas once in my life. It was not really anywhere that I ever wanted to go. I'm always up for new experiences. I'm blessed to be able to work from home. My clients literally are all over the world, so I can work from anywhere. And what I did was, I didn't totally let go of my business, right? I kept the clients that I was already working with. I just didn't start taking on new clients. So I didn't take on new clients, but I did work with my VIPs, my people who were already with me. And it was one of the best experiences of my life. It was one of the best experiences. I was literally, now I thought when we signed up for this, right, like we were going to get an Airbnb or something. So I would be living with some other women and all of that. I ended up living with April in her house. Y'all hear what I'm saying? I ended up living with her for 6 months. So I asked for the behind the scenes. I really wanted to know the behind the scenes. How much behind the scenes do you get when you're actually living with the CEO? So not just in their business, in the meetings, seeing what's going on, but living with them. You can't hide stuff from people when you're living with them. That's when you see the real, okay? When you are living with people, you see the real. You can say whatever you want on social media. But when I'm living with you, I know what's really going on. And for 6 months, like, you might hide something for, a week or 2 or 3 or whatever, but 6 months? So I saw everything. I saw everything. Everything. And I really quickly decided, I was like, no, I don't really want to be a millionaire. I don't. I want money, right? I want comfort. I want to be able to rest when I want to rest. I want to be able to travel when I want to travel, right? I want to have the freedom to take the clients that I want to work with and don't work with the clients that I don't want to work with, right? I have earned that at this point. I don't work with everybody. There are people who do approach me, and I won't work with them, right? So I want those things. I want a comfortable lifestyle. I'm bougie. I will claim it. I'm a foodie. I love to eat well. Y'all have seen, my videos, my pictures. You come to my brunch, food is important to me. Okay. Food is one of my love languages. Right. So I'm clear about the lifestyle that I want to live and how I want to live. But I recognize that that had nothing to do with being a millionaire because I do not want to do the work. Is a lot of work. I don't care what nobody says. It's a lot of work. And the work doesn't stop. The work don't stop. Because you got to get there and then you got to maintain it. And I was like, I don't want to do this. I'm a Pisces. We too floaty and free spirited for all of that. I don't want to do that. I just want to heal. I want to help people and I want to live the life that I want to live. And that's it. So I quickly let that go. That freed me up to focus on what I really want to manifest. So do you all see the value in that? Now I can really focus and now I can be in alignment with what I really want. And in fact, it shifted a lot of things for me. The relationship that I wasn't in, that I kind of let go of, picked it back up when I came back to Maryland. My house that I had for, I think at that point it might have been like 18 years. It really started falling apart. It was a big house. I didn't need all the space. I was divorced. My, ex-husband had taken care of the house. It was a hot mess. I didn't feel like dealing with it. Let that go. And I downsized. And I'm not even going to say that that was easy because like now, especially with a family, we're all living together. It was a lot, but I love the fact that I don't have to worry about the home. I don't have to worry about things falling apart. I don't have to worry about when it snows that who's going to shovel the snow because I had this long driveway. I was like, oh my God, how's all the snow going to get up? Like one year I had to pay my neighbor. My neighbor charged me $300 to plow my driveway. That's how big it was. Okay. So all of these things that I had to worry about before, that I had to maintain, I loved my home. I loved my property. I loved all of that. But it was wearing on me. It was actually causing me stress. It was causing me anxiety. And I just let it all go. I just let it all go. I was like, I don't care. A lot of people would be like, oh my God, you work so hard for that. Or, oh my God, I wish I could have that. I let it go. And I don't regret it. I do not regret it. So I say all of that to say that I manifested an experience that allowed me the clarity that I needed to really focus on the things that I really wanted. And now I had the time and the energy to really focus and attract what I really desired. Does that make sense? If that makes sense to you, I'll put a 2 in the chat. And if you have any questions or comments at any time, please feel free to ask. So, Kendra, to your point, you said that there are things, but no details on what you want. You want to broaden those things to include the details because the details matter. The details matter. You don't necessarily want to be so locked in, right? Some of us, we like holding on so tight, like it has to look like this. And then when something comes your way, because it's not exactly the way you want it to be, you don't recognize it. You don't want to be so gung-ho as that, but you do want to be clear. You do want to be clear, if that makes sense. So, for example, so like I said, I could describe the lifestyle that I wanted, right? Now, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm saying, okay, I'm going to have a house that looks like this. I'm going to have a car that looks like this. I'm going to live in this place. But what mattered to me is being at peace. What matters to me is being able to wake up when I want to. I am not a morning person, right? My clients know you're not going to meet with me in the morning. You're just not. Unless you're a VIP client and I just have to like suffer for you, but otherwise you're just not. there's certain things that are important in my lifestyle. So all of those things I can list and write down. But I'm not going to say, well, it's going to be here in Maryland, because you know what? It could be in Mexico tomorrow, as long as it meets all of that criteria, if that makes sense. It's just like a man, right? If you're manifesting a relationship, you might not know what the man looks like, right? But you might say you want somebody taller than you. I'm not going to go with that 6 feet because it's so cliche, right? I want somebody who's taller than me. I want somebody who, can carry a conversation with me. They're intellectual. We can talk about all the different things going on in life. I want somebody who's generous, who will take care of me when I'm sick, and you can list out things that way, right? Somebody who's kind, right? Somebody who's supportive of my life endeavors, of my business, whatever it is, right? Like if you ask my boo, who tell me, he literally wrote me down. He tells everybody this. He wrote me down. He was divorced, going through it, all of that. He took some time out to heal, and he wrote down all the stuff on a piece of paper, and then boom, I showed up. How about that? So you don't have to be so fixed in exactly, every little piece, but you definitely want to be clear about how it looks, right? And you want to be clear. Here's the other thing, and I want you to write this down. You want to be clear about how it makes you feel. You want to be clear about how it makes you feel. So remember, I told you the importance of your emotions. I told you that you can use your emotions as fuel to manifest. When you're manifesting, you absolutely want to pay attention to your emotions. You want to master your emotions. That will help you to manifest. So you want to focus on whatever it is that you are, working to attract. And notice I'm saying attract, because we don't chase, we attract, right? We don't chase stuff down. We don't hunt it down. We don't say by any means necessary. You be the beacon that you need to be so that it comes to you, right? And so you want to focus on how it makes you feel. Because here's the secret in that. You want to vibrate at the level of what it is that you want to attract. So I want y'all to write that down. You want to vibrate at the level of what it is you want to attract. One of the ways of vibrating at that level is to feel what it feels like. Because how you going to attract something if you right now at a 2 and that's at a 10? AKA like the $1,000,000, right? You might be working a job and getting paid 60,000 a year. I'm just making up a number. You're talking about, I want to be a millionaire. I'm not saying don't dream. And I'm not saying don't manifest what you want. But maybe it's not $1,000,000 just yet. Maybe we got to get to the next step. Maybe it's 100,000. You know what I mean? Like maybe we starting at 6 figures. We starting at early 6 figures. And then, okay, maybe we think now we can move to mid 6 figures, and then so on and so forth. Right. So you want to really feel it so you can start vibrating on that level. Because sometimes when we try to make that jump from a 2 to a 10, you don't really even believe that it's possible. And so you saying the affirmations in this book, you saying the affirmations, and the affirmations are powerful, but because you're competing with this here, you don't really believe it. It's not really going to work for you. Your process is going to be slow, and then you impatient and you like, why is this taking so long? Because you're not in vibration with what it is that you're working on. You're not in harmony with it. That is not in alignment with where you are right now. So I'm not saying that it can't happen, but there might be some things that need to be cleared out before it can happen. And that's why it's going to take a little longer for that to happen. If that makes sense. Good evening, Lanisha. So Kendra says, so it's not until I'm older that I'm seeing power in words and writing things down. I have manifested things like my husband, but I left some things off. That's real. That's real. And sometimes that just comes with experience, right? Like sometimes we don't even know what we're really looking for. I mean, let's just be real. I mean, I could say the same thing. Like, and my friend from college will tell you this. And it's weird. I could say I manifested this. I could say this was intuition. It was a combination of things. But I told her I was going to get married at 26. I don't even know how I came up with that number because it's not like, but I told her that. I told her I was going to get married at 26. And I literally got married at 26. And I wasn't even in that space. Like, I was happy, I was carefree, I was dating, I was living my best life. I really enjoyed dating in my 20s. I had a ball. Okay. There was no shortage of amazing men that, but my ex-husband pursued the hell out of me. Like, and I thought he was it. There were a lot of things that I looked at that were important, but I, like him, I left some things off the list. I was 20. Well, at that time, I was 23, 24. So I didn't know. I didn't know. Now in my 40s, my list is a little different. No, maybe a little. Yeah, it's a little different. So sometimes you will leave things off the list because it's just experience at that point, right? Which is why, let me give you another tip, which is why when you're really asking for things, when you're owning things, like when you're doing these affirmations. So you see at the end of your affirmation, right? At the end of your affirmation, it says thank you. Thank you. You're expressing gratitude. You're expressing gratitude because that energy, that's an energetic vibration. You want to be on that vibration of gratitude, right? So also, another thing is saying, I'm gonna read the affirmation, right? So it says God, Allah, universe, higher power. The reason that I mentioned all of those is because what resonates for me may not resonate for you. And what you don't want to do is be locked into an affirmation or something that you're saying that doesn't vibrate with you, that doesn't align with you. And so you're saying it, but you don't really mean it. Right. So some people say universe. You like, I don't believe in universe. I believe in God. Well, say God then. Say higher power, like whatever it is that you believe. If you want to say Jesus, you want to say Buddha, whatever. The whole point is that it's a power higher than you. You are tapping into a higher vibration. You're tapping into a higher energy. That's the point of that. Okay. So that's what I mean by you want to vibrate at that level. You are tapping into a higher vibration because whatever it is that you are working to attract is at a higher vibration. Okay. Then you're saying, I am wide open and ready to receive the abundant blessings you have in store for me. So, why am I saying that? I'm saying that because that's a little vague, right? Because sometimes the things that you're asking for, like I said, are not necessarily the things that you want. They're not necessarily the things of where you are right now. They're not in alignment with who you are. And so that kind of gives you a way out to tap into that power. Like, God, you know what's best for me. I know right here what I'm saying, but you know what's best for me, right? So give me what's best for me. Even if I ask for this car over here, if there's another car that's better for me, give me that. Right? So that's why I'm saying that. And then it says, today I claim my dreams as my reality, and I request a clear, undeniable sign to confirm that you are working alongside me. Why do I say that? Because for people like Kendra and everybody else who's watching, for those of you who are impatient, I want you to see the signs. I want you to pay attention to the signs, because the signs will help you to keep going. The signs could look like dreams. It could look like synchronicity. It could look like you say a word and somebody else says the same word. You say something and then poof, it appears, right? The signs can come from any number of different things. It can come from nature. It can come from so many things. So I want you to pay attention to the signs. I want you to be open. You cannot be closed when you are working to manifest something. You can't be all like this. You can't receive nothing. So you want to be open, right? You want to be flowy. You want to be at peace. You want to be calm. You want to be relaxed, right? because you want to receive, you want to be receptive, you want to be water, you want to be flow. And then I say, I am open, I am ready, thank you. I am open, I am ready, thank you. Now, this is the affirmation. There's no guesswork. You can do this as it is, right? And then the other exercises are about the things that you're actually wanting to manifest. But this is the affirmation. Now, if you want to change this affirmation up, you can. But I just told you why I chose these elements, why the elements work. These elements work. It's proven. So it's up to you if you want to change it and you want to create a different affirmation. I would advise you to make sure that if you create a different affirmation, you keep these elements in some way, shape, or form, because that's the power. It works. Any questions, comments? So Kendra says, we survived the huge tornado in 2020 in Nashville during COVID. Oh, wow. We got brand new things in a new place to live. How do I manifest things without the extra stuff? So when you say, how do you manifest things without the extra stuff? Explain to me what you mean by that. But I mean, first of all, I'm sorry about the tornado, but I am glad that it worked out where, and I know somebody else that happened to, that they had a situation where they ended up getting a new home. I know, somebody who had a fire, burnt down the whole house, ended up getting a new house. And, somebody, they had, another kind of storm, same thing happened. So it's almost like that blessing and curse kind of thing. It's an amazing opportunity, but when you have to lose in the process to get it. But that is that sign of letting go. So I just broke down a lot. So I'm waiting for Kendra to answer that for me so I can answer that. Any questions, comments, anything that really struck you today? Anything that really hit home from what I said? Anything that you're like, okay, that really helps? Let me know, because that was a lot. Okay, I actually explained it. Okay, good, 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 good. And again, if you're watching on the replay, welcome. Come on in. You can still ask your questions. I do monitor my comments. You might watch this again. I encourage you to. You might watch this again. And right now you might be sitting, watching kind of in the background, laid back, and you're like, I don't really have any questions. I'm just kind of going with the flow. But then you watch it again and you're like, wait, no, now I got some questions. Go ahead and ask them. But yeah, I want to know if you got, because this is a lot, right? I've given you some powerful, powerful techniques, because most people just gonna tell you, oh, go ahead on and do these affirmations and that works, or go ahead and do this journal, or go ahead and do this meditation. But you have to understand, and there's still more. There's still more. You have to understand how everything works together, and you have to understand why it works and how it works. And so if you're just going about doing those things, it's not really helpful if you don't really understand what you're doing and why you're doing it. If that makes sense. There's a whole lot to this. You see those people out there who genuinely, I'm not talking about the fakers. I'm not talking about the people out there who selling you a bill of goods, right? I'm talking about the people who really know how to manifest. And you're like, dang, how is it that they're always getting this stuff, or this always working out for them? Because they know some shit you don't know. That's how. And then they're actually doing it. They're actually doing it. There are absolutely people who really understand these principles. And then there are a whole lot of people who are doing the bare minimum, who don't really understand. They're trying to get it the easy way out, and then it doesn't work. And then they give up. And it's just, you know what, this is too much. So anything really struck you? Anything really, really served you today? And do you have any other questions or comments? And I do want to say, I love that, you know, some of the same people from day one are back. I love that. I love that. I'm glad that you showed up again, that you are here with me. And each of you are in different stages. You're in different stages. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, just so you know, this is officially day 4, right? But regardless of what day you're on, if you're starting on day 1, stay on day 1. Wherever you are, you know, you're on day 2, do the exercise for day 2. You should be getting the daily emails from me. Make sure you read those emails, because not everybody's reading their emails. Make sure you read those emails, because they're reminders. Like, I want you to keep going. I want you to keep going. So read those emails. Remember the companion journal. Girl, get your effing life. Get your companion journal. The link is in the emails. The link is in your workbook. You can also book a discounted one-on-one session with me, and it is deeply discounted. Very deeply discounted. If you have ever thought about working with me, I promise you this is the time to do it, because it is deeply discounted. Deeply. I cannot express that enough, how deeply discounted it is. So you need to go on ahead and just go and book it, because it's not going to stay up there. I am going to take the link off at some point. I am. That's why I put it in your workbook like that. I'm gonna just take it down. Um, but while this challenge is going, I want to have that up for you, because I never want to leave you hanging. I know that if you really take this seriously, it works. And I also know that there's some things that can come up for you that you may or may not be ready for, that you may or may not have expected, and you need to work through it. And I don't want cost to be a reason that you don't address it. All right. I want this. Yes, it's free, but I want this challenge to work for you. Lovely Bones 16 says, when you said not to be stuck in a box, stay open to receive it in many forms. Confirmation. Awesome. Confirmation. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. A lot of us are like that. We are very stuck. And we don't even recognize that we're stuck, because we're so used to wherever we are. We're so comfortable in our uncomfortableness that we don't recognize that we're stuck. And we don't recognize that the reason that we are not manifesting what we want, that we're not attracting what we say we want, is because we are so stuck in the environment that we are already in, and we're not open for more. We're not receptive for more. Opportunities come. So remember, I told y'all, I got an amazing opportunity. I literally manifest this opportunity, and I almost turned it down. I almost turned it down because of my thought process, how I was thinking, my mentality. I almost turned it down. I had to life coach myself. I straight up had to life coach myself. Now, I told y'all, like, you know, I have my own coaches, right? And my own therapist and all of that, because I live by what I preach, right? But in that moment, I had to life coach myself. I had to talk myself like I talk to my clients. Avalaura, what are you doing? What are you doing? You asked for this. You manifested this. Why would you say no when you are getting what you asked for? In fact, I got more than what I asked for. That's why I said you got to be open. I got more than what I asked for. And I almost turned it down. This is what we do. And then you're like, wow, why is this taking so long? Well, did it take so long, or did opportunities come and you didn't recognize it and you turned stuff down, or you let it go, right? Or you just weren't open to receiving it, right? Like, so what is it? So I promise you, if you do this work, if you commit to this process and you listen to what I'm saying and you use these reminders, right? And you get the session with me and all of these things, it will work. And I know it's 7 days, but you will see changes. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to manifest whatever it is that you want in the 7 days, but you will absolutely see changes. You can't do this work and not see changes. You can't. Even if it's just a shift in your thinking, which, as you all know, is literally one of the most important things. Literally one of the most important things. So sometimes, like the biggest shifts, the biggest changes are very small. They're very small. They seem very small. And so it's very easy for you to kind of write it off and feel like it's not important when it's the most important thing. And it is that thing that's going to really take you to the next level. All right. So again, I try to be good on time, right? Honoring my time, honoring your time. You know, I said an hour. We're almost at that point. Any other questions, comments, feedback, anything else that you want to share while we're here in this space? So if you haven't already, hopefully, you know, it's in the evening or whenever, you know, time that you're watching this, hopefully you've done your exercise in the workbook today. You know, definitely, like I said, check your emails because you're getting emails from me every day during this challenge, right? If you're here in the DMV, I highly encourage you to join us for the Girl Live Your Effing Life brunch. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. If you came to the last one, there are definitely going to be differences because I wanted the people who came before to have a different experience. Okay. So it's in a different place. I'm going to announce the color theme maybe in about a week. I'm going to announce the new color theme. Last time it was pink. It's not going to be pink this time. I did take a vote. Y'all did not vote for my color. Y'all didn't vote for my color. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to tell you what my color was. Y'all did not vote for my color. If you all were not, you don't know what I'm talking about. So last time it was pink because, I mean, it's pink, right? And it's all about self-love. And so the color was pink. And so this time I said, asked you all to vote on yellow, green, gold, oh, and then pink again, right? We're not doing pink again. We're not doing pink again. So it's going to be a different color. So different. So that's going to be a different vibration in and of itself. Um, Same caterer, but some different foods, some different entertainment. It's going to be, yeah, some different. It's going to be longer this time too. So last time it was 12 to 3. It's going to be 12 to 4. So it's going to be a little longer. So we have some more time together. So I'm switching several things up. The place is really is, yeah. You'll see. You'll see. You'll see. Kendra, does it matter the time to do the work like morning? No, it does not matter. What matters is when is it best for you. I'm not a morning person. You don't want to see me do this in the morning. Even though the morning is quieter because I don't like getting up in the morning. That's just not the best time for me. I am a night owl. So for me, the night is best. Whatever works for you. That's the most important. Wherever you can be most consistent. That's what's most important. Thank you, Aja. She said the last brunch was an amazing experience. Yes, yes, yes. Are you coming back? Are you coming back? There are definitely going to be some different vendors. Oh, this time we're going to have henna. We're going to have henna this time. So I'm excited. Every time I do this, I'm going to try to switch it up a little bit because I do want it to be, I want it to be the same vibe. You know, it's going to be some of the same people. It's going to be the same energy, but it's definitely, you know, I'm going to have some surprises in there for y'all. Some surprises. Any other questions or comments? So yeah, make sure you get your tickets. We're still in the early bird phase. The ticket's about to go up. Yay! So I would love to join y'all again. Yay, yay, yay. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, good people. If you have any other questions or comments, like I said, after, just go ahead, put it in the chat. Like I said, if there's something personal that you feel like you want to share, but you don't want to share with the world, I'm totally fine with that. Go ahead and email me. If you're wanting more, let's talk and let's see how we can get you more. But I'm excited that you're here, that you're showing up for yourself, that you've made a commitment to yourself, and you are keeping your commitment to yourself. When I repeat myself, it's on purpose because we need to hear these things. And a lot of times you need to hear it more than once. All right. So We're continuing this challenge. Day 7 for me, and for those of you who started with me, will be Sunday. So we'll be back here on YouTube Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. 6 p.m. Eastern Time. All right. So I look forward to seeing you all back here. I already set that up. You should already be following me here on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share this out. Even if it's somebody, right? They don't even know who the hell I am. They're not participating in the challenge. Share this with them. Share it. Sharing is caring. It costs nothing for you to share, right? And you could really be helping somebody. So go ahead and share this out. Come back on Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Because I've already scheduled the live stream, you should be able to click on the notification. So when I go live, you'll get a notification. But I do send you an email out like 10 minutes before. So because life be lifing, right? Sometimes we forget, hopefully it's in your calendar, but sometimes we forget, right? But yeah, if you click the subscribe and then the notify on the link, you'll get the notification as soon as I go live. You're so welcome, Lovely Bone 16. Thank you all, ladies, for showing up, for being here. I will see you all on Sunday. Have an amazing evening, and go ahead on and manifest that shit. Let's go. Bye, ladies.